pray. And just like we close with a word, still sharing from the 13th verse of Daniel chapter 10, and we've been looking at different people. We're looking we last looked at Elijah, and we said Elijah missed it because he missed out Jezebel in his calculation. Elijah missed out Jezebel. God did not. God had his own special place and special provision for taking out Jezebel, right? So it's up to us to believe and line up with God, right? Because we missed something doesn't mean God missed it. Because something is making us jittery and scared doesn't mean that God doesn't have it handled. When we began to teach, talking about coming as a pioneer our teaching, I believe that's what we're talking about from Daniel chapter 1. We reminded ourselves that even in creation, Satan was there, but God never mentioned Satan until Genesis chapter 3. Everything God said, he never mentioned Satan until Satan appeared to Eve in Genesis chapter 3. Why? Because we're exalted, created above Satan. We're above Satan. So in Psalm 8, I believe the Bible's beginning to say that who is man that, Lord, you are mindful of him? You have made him higher. He has made us higher than all of his creations, even Satan. Satan was under our feet. So you see, Satan did not appear to Eve as a lion. He did not appear to Eve as something bigger or more powerful than Eve. He appeared to Eve as something under Eve, right? Look at the Genesis story. He did not appear to Eve as someone who could overpower Eve, but appeared to Eve as someone who was under Eve, someone that Eve had power over. He was only making suggestions to Eve. He wasn't forcing Eve to do anything. He was merely making suggestions to Eve, which Eve could have rejected, but Eve chose not to, right? He sold Eve a baloney, right? And Eve swallowed it, bought it, hook, line, and sinker. That is what brought us where we are. But in the original creation, we're above Satan. We're above angels, right? That's why God did not need to tell us even about angels or demonic beings, because he created us equipped to reign in this life, right? When he gave us a mandate of dominion, it was over everything but himself. It was over everything but himself. It was over everything but himself. That is what we lost in the Garden of Eden, the place of glory next to God, because we're God's prototype in this life, to reign in this life in God's stead. We lost our place in, because we're not satisfied with the prototype. Like Satan wanted to be like God. And we're still plagued with that temptation, right? Even though years of creation, Eve has missed Jesus Christ, we still have something inside of us that is still seeking for a place of God. And unless we control it, unless we direct it aright, it will kill us. If we don't direct it aright, it will kill us. That's why it calls for, in our relationship with God and in life, to be humble. God says it is to the humble that I give grace, not to the born again, not because you're a Christian. It's to the humble, someone that rightly designates his place, someone that rightly discerns his position and the things that are within his power, outside his power, and knows where the lines are set, knows a place of prayer, a place of calling on God to help. That is what God gives grace. But to the proud who feels, I can do that, man. I'm a man, I'm a woman. I've been doing this for the last 40 years. You're going to die before your time. You're going to die before your time. We need God. There's a place for us. There are lines set, there are landmarks. We need to respect them. We need to know them, respect them, and walk with them. That's how you survive this life. That's how you overcome. You stand in the place that God has ordained for you and know how to call on his help to assist you, to carry you. That's how we overcome. In humility, remembering that we are the sheep of his pasture. He's our shepherd. We are the sheep. And it will continue to carry us in Jesus' name. All right. That's all I got today. See you tomorrow. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of